I'm sure a lot of you are in the same position that I was in many years ago before I started my detailing business. I had a vehicle that I absolutely loved. I loved to keep it clean, but I was always asking myself, am I washing this the right way? Turns out, not exactly. And like a lot of you, I watched countless hours of YouTube videos trying to understand why the professionals did things a certain way, what their processes are, and what chemicals they used. So now, after owning my own business for 6 years, I've decided to take what I learned when I was a beginner, combined with the experience that I gained real world, and put them into this video. And that's exactly what I want this video on this channel to be. Whether you're just getting started detailing or you have a car that you love to keep clean, this video is for you. It's going to show you how I wash things personally, and it's going to show that you don't always need thousands of dollars of equipment to get a professional deep clean on your vehicle. So today's video is going to be all about how we perform a basic standard wash here at our shop, and hopefully it can teach you how you at home can do it yourself. And one more thing, before we get started, you're going to hear this on every detail channel out there on YouTube, every video, probably most of my videos as well. We're working inside our shop. When you wash your vehicle, you want to make sure that you're doing it either in the morning or in the late afternoon, whenever the sun is at its lowest point. You don't want to wash your vehicle when it's super hot out, when the sun is glaring off the surface. That can cause issues with the chemicals. So the first order of business is the vehicle's wheels. I wash these first because they are the dirtiest parts of the vehicle. I always get them out of the way first so I don't get any chemicals or anything slung up on a nice clean surface and have to rewash or re-dry the vehicle. So I'm not going to go super in-depth with the wheels in this video. I do have a full in-depth wheel cleaning video that I will link in the description that you can watch. In this video, I'm not going to go super in-depth with all the chemicals, brushes, etc. that I'm using. I will have videos for those later. This is just going to give you an idea of the broader sense of how should I wash my car. So let's get right into it. I'll speed up these wheels and then I'll see you on the next step. Now that you've detailed the wheels and tires, the next step is to pay attention to the front end of your vehicle. If you've done a lot of driving or it's summer, there's a good chance you have a ton of bugs on there. And for that, you want to use a dedicated bug remover. We use this because it's going to help mitigate a lot of elbow grease getting the bugs off. This is designed, formulated to just melt them off the surface. And after that, we're going to follow up with a foam gun. So let's get right on that. My car doesn't have a ton of bugs on it, but there is some. All right, there goes the bug remover. And now we'll foam it down. Foam guns are great because any grit or if you have a lot of mud on the vehicle, this will help release it from the surface and draw it to the ground, so that way when it comes to the contact wash, you're not spreading all that caked on mud or dirt or grit around on the car's surface. So I like the pressure washer foam cannons better. I'm a little bit biased just because they do throw a thicker foam on there. These work all right, they do its job. However, there's something a little bit more satisfying about just shaving cream-like foam on the surface. But if you do this, you're doing it the right way. right, and then you can let that foam sit on there, let it draw to the ground, and afterwards you come back and we'll just rinse it right off. Now, if you're privy to it, which I like to do because we're using a garden hose, is you can do what's called the foam rinse foam method. And what that is essentially just foaming the vehicle like we did, rinsing it like we just did, and then you foam it again. I like to do this when I have to use a garden hose because I don't completely feel like the foam from the foam gun does a great job. So just having that extra layer of lubricity when you do go for the contact wash, it'll help mitigate scratches. So we're going to foam this up once more and get right into the contact wash. Okay, the foam is sitting on the surface. We've got a bucket with a couple of wash pads in there and water, car soap, everything like that. We'll foam it up a little and then we can go right in for the wash. But before you wash it, there's a couple things you need to know. I'm glad I dropped that in the bucket. We always start top to bottom, one panel at a time, one side at a time, and we always like to stay in straight line motions. So for instance, I will always start with windshield, roof, back glass if I can, and I will take one side of this wash mitt, straight line motions, and you can be the judge on your own vehicle about how dirty it is. If this was completely nasty, I would probably flip to the other side once I go to this side of the vehicle. However, my car is fairly clean. I don't see a need to do that. But be your own judge. If you have a black car, I would recommend flipping as much as you can. Okay, so next I'll flip it and then I'll go for the hood. I always just go the highest point of the car to the lowest. Bam, and then trunk lid. Which I already did, but that's okay. Now back into the wash bucket. And I will grab a new one. I have 3 or 4 in here. And then I will start door, again, top to bottom, straight line if you're able to. And I absolutely love these wash pads. I was a bit skeptical of them, but I feel like they get into tighter areas much easier than a super thick wash mitt. So I've done door top to bottom, flip, and I will do the other door. Boom, both sides are used, back into the wash bucket, pick out a new one. Let's go for the fender. It needs some attention. There's a little bit of sap or something right here. And if you have issues like that, You don't have to scrub. If you have to scrub, you need something, a degreaser or something on it, or a tree sap remover. You shouldn't have to scrub super hard. So we'll go there, and I'll flip, and I will do the front bumper. A lot of people will ask, what's the right way to wash a car? And honestly, I don't think there is a right way to wash your vehicle. I do think there are wrong ways, bad ways of washing your vehicle. But the right way is so subjective. There's people that think, you only need one bucket. There's people that think you need two. There's people that think you need more. Just go with whatever's the most comfortable with you and what you feel like is going to be the best. As long as you have a shiny car that you love, that's all that really matters. So now we will go back, rinse all the soap off. And you do want to make sure that you do a fairly thorough job, but it never fails that after you rinse off the right car, water or soap goes down. You just have to accept the fact that that's going to happen. All right, the car's been washed, so we're done, right? Nope. The next step is to protect it. And for this, I like to use Sonax Spray and Seal. I've talked about it on different videos. This is fantastic because it is a spray-on, rinse-off sealant. It lasts about 2 to 3 months. It's been great for me. Super slick, super glossy. And I think it speeds up my wash process. If you want to wax the vehicle, you can also do that. There's no right or wrong form of protection. This is just what I like to use. So for this, all you do is 1 to 2, 2 to 3 sprays per panel. And simply rinse. And you'll get an instant beating look to your car. I don't know what to call it, but this will protect the vehicle and make it easier to wash the next time you do so. And if you are working outside, I would limit this to doing one panel at a time. This is a silica-based product, so if the sun lets it bake on, you'll get left with some nasty water spots. Bingo bango. Now it's protected. The last step here is to dry it. The reason you dry it is because if you wash it, leave these water spots everywhere, the sun's going to dry those on there. And if you live in an area with very hard water, you're going to end up with water spots. And those I would take to a professional detailer to get taken care of, unless you're super fast. So we're going to dry it. My favorite way to dry a car is with a leaf blower. So we'll just go around the vehicle, getting in all the little nooks and crannies, trying to knock off as much water as we can with this, and then we will follow up with a drying towel. Alright, she's pretty much dry. You don't have to get it 100% dry with a leaf blower if you so choose. However, it does make it way easier because after this, we're going to follow up with a drying towel, which I will grab. Alright, here's our drying towel. Simple. Any other spots that are left over, just lay the towel on the surface, and you only need to just glide it across. You don't have to sit here and scrub to dry it. The towel should do all of the work for you. And that Sonax spray and seal that we sprayed on to protect it just leaves it feeling super slick. All right, and there you have it. That is essentially how you yourself can wash and maintain your vehicle in your own driveway. I hope everyone enjoyed this video. I hope everyone learned something, as bad as I am at recording. But if you love the video, please leave us a like, give us a subscribe if you don't mind, and we'll see you on the next one.